how to create a table in SQL Server? Just as we discussed yesterday, create should be there. Then what is the object? The object type is table, and the name.
Govind,
Yep.
can you share your screen?
Yeah, I mean screen sharing mode only.
I don't see it.
Okay, let me stop it and again share it. Now are you able to
Yeah,
see?
but no. Yeah. Now I am able to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Create then table. What is it? This is an object name. Sorry, what type of object? This will tell to the SQL Server engine. And what is the object name? TBL. Details. Okay. And now, what would be the columns? So first, employee ID. I am having a data type of integer and the employee name, data type of varchar. Let me give 5. Okay. Then PCL for department ID, integer, cell, decimal, 10 comma 2. Here 10 is the length of the number and 2 is the after decimal you will be having two digits. So this is the my table structure. So it's been created. So now how to insert the data into this table? There should be a command called insert into what was the table name TBL employees. You can specify the columns over here. Shit, it started looking at. So if you want to see the column and the table structure, right, either you can go here, and you can see the table over here. Yeah, if you see dbo.table employee details, why dbo has come means whenever you create a table without any schema, then by default it will take it as a dbo schema. Okay, what is schema I will tell you in next sessions. So if you see here columns, you could see all the columns and what all are the data types and what this is null and why this is null and all those things we will discuss it now. So whenever we define a table, right, table structure, right, if you are not mentioning explicitly whether it is having not null or it is having null, then implicitly it will take it as a null. Means like whenever you insert the data into this table, so the column value could be null until and unless you should have to specify this should not be not null. If you are
Not now.
specifying not null, then it won't take it as what is that the null values to this column for this particular table would be allowed. If you declare like this, and null values can be inserted. So that's why you are seeing int comma null over here. So let us what is that insert some values into this table. Either you can write like this, select comma, it should not write. So I'm inserting a value into this one. You should see What code is successfully inserted? Yeah, now it's inserted one row. So if you want to query data from this table, you can say like select star from by default. But here if you see, right, I have given a salary as integer only, but it is taken as dot zero zero, because if you see
decimal.
here, our data type is decimal. So whenever you enter an integer value, it is taking as dot zero zero. Why this is taking as dot zero zero and how it is taking dot zero zero, we will discuss. So let me throw an error for this table. So if you see guys, like my table structure having employee name, which is type of varchar 5 only. So it would what is that, insert data into this table, the employee name should be must and should be less than or equal to 5 characters only. Okay. So must and should 5 characters only. That's why it means like if you are entering data into this table, which is having must and should less than 5 characters, then it will allow you to insert data. Otherwise it won't allow, because it will throw this type of error. Because if you see here, string or binary data would be truncated. So how you could see the error message? So whatever 8152 is here, right, this is the error message which will tell us the detailed description about the error in the Microsoft Developer Network. Okay. Anything if you take, means like whenever you get an error, right, that error will be having some message and the level, the state, and which line it has occurred, and all those things it will tell us. So if you see some any blog, or if you go to directly MSDN, then it will say, means like they will be explaining. Okay. So if you see, this guy also will say like, this guy also what he say, varchar 3 varchar 10. So this is the problem he is also saying. So, so how will you, what is that, avoiding these type of situations? So now what you will do is, you will have to do alter table. This is the table name. Alter column. What is the column name? Employee name, right? Employee name. What is the previous data type? Varchar. Varchar, and previous length is 5. Now I am going to give the length is 50. So now it will allow you to enter the employee name up to 50 characters. So if you see the table structure, see 50 has come here. Now let's try to insert data into this table. Now the second row has been what is that, inserted. So if you see 1 2, then this data also inserted. Okay. So now what are the types? Let me insert some more data. Okay. So I will tell you, declare at the rate set at the rate 10, 3. Sorry, 30,000 begin and the end. So set trivial employee select favorite ID comma shit. Yeah, we are somewhere right. So guys, just I populated some 3000 rows into my table or that employee details table. So let's see what is the data inside this one. Yep. If you see the data is like this, okay. So data is like this. Let's go to the end. Yep. So you are having some 3002 records inside this table. So now what I want to do is like if we want to delete some records from this table, okay, how you would delete? Or if you want to delete, yeah, oh, yeah. If you want delete some record, means like particular records based on the condition, you can go with the delete statement. Okay, delete from table employee details where TID between 1200 and 1205. If I am deleting like this, it's been deleted. Means from 1200 to 1205 means like 6 records. 1200, 1201, 1202, 1203, 1204, 1205 records means like these 6 records have been deleted from this table. So if you see, I am deleting or I am removing particular records from this table. Okay. If if I want to do or if I want to delete all the records from this table, okay, how I would be deleting it? Let's say, let's say if I want to remove all the records. So if you see select count star, what count star will give? Number of rows from your table, it will give count star. Okay. So if you see, I am having how many records? 2994 records. So if I want to delete all the records from this table, okay, delete from this table. If you do like this, done. So the similar thing I can achieve it through any other statement also. Let us say, let me repopulate this table because I have taken backup into this table. So let me repopulate the table. Before going to repopulate the table, let me show you guys like how many records are there. There are no records inside that particular table because I have typed a command called delete from the table name. Okay. Now what I want to do is like if I want to delete all the records from this table, there is another command we can use. What would be that command? Do you guys have any idea? So I repopulated the table. Means like if you see my employee details, which is having 2994 records. So now the previous statement which I executed on this particular table is like delete from table employee details. The same thing if I want to achieve it through some other command, means like if I want to delete all the records or if I want to vanish all the records from this table, how would I achieve? Do you guys have any idea?
Yeah, no.
So there is a command called truncate. Okay, truncate table table employee details. So if you see here, commands completed successfully. Okay. So now if you do this one, select count star from this table. So you would be seeing 0 rows. But the what is the main difference between delete and truncate now? Delete and truncate. So just now we have done some operations, right? So let me tell you, if you want to delete particular rows or some of the rows from the table based on condition, then you can go with the delete statement because if you see here we have deleted some few rows based on this condition. The employee ID should must and should between 1200 and 1205. So if you want delete some particular rows from the table, you can go with the delete condition. Or if you want to put that vanish all the records, either you can go with the delete or truncate. But when you are going with the delete statement, the transaction means like the if you put all the statements inside a transaction, And if this transaction fails in middle of the doing deletion operation, then you can roll back the statements. Whenever I say roll back, whatever deleted records, you can roll back those records into your particular table. Means like the records won't be deleted. Okay. The same case, if you are going with the truncate table. Okay, the truncate table will be vanished the total number of rows inside the particular table. But delete and delete and truncate won't drop your structure of the table. It will vanish the records from your table only. Okay. So these are the main differences between delete and truncate. And the thing is, if you see here, I am not having any rows. I am not having any rows in this particular table, but the table structure remains same, correct? The table structure remains same. When I say remains same, the table structure is available now. Whenever I want, I can what that insert data into this table. Now if you see, now if you see, there are some 2998 records have been there. So you could see like the table structure is there, but the data is not there in the previous statement. Now come to another command, drop table. Means like if your manager asked you to delete the structure of the table along with the rows whichever reside in that particular table. So you can just go with the drop table command. So if you drop table name, then that's it. The rows, the data, whichever inside this particular table, it will be vanished and the table structure also will be vanished. See, invalid object name, TBL employee details. So if you see message number 208, you can again search invalid object name. So whenever you see invalid object name, that object name is either not existed in that particular database or it's not been binded for the particular schema. By default, it is binded to the DBO schema. Okay. So now if you want to create again, it's like there is another statement, right? So I want to repopulate the data because I have taken backup from this table earlier commands. Now if I do like this, select the star into TBL employee details from this TBL employee details one. So what it will do? It will copy the structure alone. It won't copy the constraints. Okay, it will copy the structure alone and it will insert all the data into this TBL employees. So if you see, TBL employee details has been created and the rows which are presented inside this table will be copied into this table. So if you see now, the all rows are there. You got it right. So this is the way of what is that? This is the major difference between your truncate table, delete statement, and the drop table. So drop table will vanish your table alone, table with the data. When I say table with the data, table structure with the data. But delete from that table name will give you it will delete all the records, and the truncate table which is having similar behavior means like it will also vanish all the records. The major difference between delete and the truncate is whenever you are going with the transactions, okay, so the delete statement, whenever you are placing a delete statement inside the transaction, if the transaction fails, then you can roll back whatever deleted records into your particular table. Means like the rows which are deleted from that particular table will be remaining in that table alone. Means like your transaction has been failed. But in the case of truncate table, it won't be like that. Once the truncate table is done, then it's gone. Whatever data inside your particular table, it will be gone. Okay. These are the main differences between your truncate delete and what is that? Drop. Okay. Now, do you guys have any doubts?
No, Govind.
Okay. Now let's go with implicit conversion and explicit conversion. So by default, SQL Server will allow you two types of converting data. One is like by default it will do some compatibility data types are there, so it will do implicit conversion. But in some cases, if you want to convert the data into like explicitly, if you want to convert it into some other format, then you could go with either cached or convert. Okay, both will be in the same, both will what is that execute the same behavior, but there are few differences between cached and convert. I will tell you. Let us say you are yesterday what we were discussing is like number data type, string data type, then date type, date data type. So if you want to convert the if you want to convert number data types like implicitly, when I say implicitly, you are having a small integer data type and in another table you are having integer data type column. So if you want to convert that small into big int, there is no cached or convert required because small int can be easily converted into integer data type, means like small int which is a subset of integer data type we could say. So by defaultly SQL Server engine will take that conversion. When I say by defaultly, their implicit conversion will occur. Let me show you. So I have a table, create, create table, TBL, conversion test. A small int, B integer, C varchar of 50, D date time. So now I have created this table and let me create another table. TBL conversion test 1, A integer, B big int, C varchar 50, D date time. Let it be like this. So now what I am going to do is I am going to insert data into this table. What is this? Yeah. If you want to insert multiple values into this table, okay. Values, let us say 1 comma comma. So what I am doing, I am inserting data into this table. When I say get date, today just now whatever the time, that time will be giving. And when I say get date minus 1, get date minus 1 will be giving the exactly date whatever time now means like minus 1 means like yesterday's time. So if you see here, if you see here, you are having two rows, okay? One is Govind and the second one is Vara, and this is having date time of today's date and this is having date time of yesterday's date. Okay, now what I am going to do is insert TBL conversion test, select start from TBL conversion. So the two rows has been affected. If you see here, if you see here, the two rows are coming into this table conversion test. But when you see in my TBL conversion test, A is the column, it is a small int data type, and B is the column which is having big int data type, sorry, integer data type. And if you see here, conversion test 1, A is a column which is having integer data type, but here B is the big int data type. When you insert data into this table from this table, so it will match the data types. So if this data type is like subset of this data type, then it will allow you to insert. Means like implicitly it will insert, otherwise it will fail. Okay, let us say insert TBL conversion test, select what is the small int range, 32767, right? Let me give 32768 and that test. Okay, the one more thing, whenever you insert a character or string or any data type like varchar or char or nvarchar or text or ntext or nchar, okay, the string must and should be in single quotes. Then only it will consider as a character or whatever data type, okay, that string data type. The other things you need not, means like if you are dealing with the date also, there are some cases you will have to give place it in the single quotes. So take this. Okay. Now where are we? Okay. Let me insert the data into this table. Select star from table conversion test where a equals to 32.78. If you see, now there is an error came, like there was an error when I say message number 220 which tells us arithmetic overflow data type of small int value equal to 32.768. Because here if you see, I am inserting into this table, the table is having a column A and which is of data type is small int. But from where I am going to insert table conversion test 1, this is the table. From this table I am going to insert the data into this table, and inside this table the column A is having data type is integer. Okay. So what I am trying to insert data, like from integer to small int I am inserting. So integer is a superset of small int, so it can't be inserted. Okay, that's why the error is coming. So now in this case, where is this? Yeah. In this case, the implicit conversion has been happened, and in this case the implicit conversion has not been happened because those two are means like one is superset of you are trying to insert a superset of data type data into a subset data type of data. Okay, so it won't be possible. Now this is called like implicit conversion, and this is an error because you are trying to insert a data type data of a superset data type to a subset of data types data. So now coming to the picture, let's insert data into what is that conversion test. Insert TBL conversion test. I will insert select select. What is the first column? A is the first column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will allow, yeah, it will allow. B is an integer column. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So C is varchar. So what I am going to do is cast one as varchar. Okay. If I am going like if I am going to give like this, it will insert, or one. I am trying to insert the data as one into the varchar column. Okay, D is date time, right? What it will do? It has been inserted because it will consider this as an varchar. So implicit conversion has been happened. Okay, so let us say if you want to insert the data into this particular table, let us say whenever you type this inside an integer, what is that inside a column, so how it will take it as a string. Okay, now let us insert the data into this particular table. This row also has been inserted because whenever this insert statement is being happened, it will check the data whichever inside the string, whether it is compatible with your column data type or not. If it is not compatible, then it will try to throw an error. If it is a compatible, then it will insert. So let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5A I am going to insert. Now it will throw an error because this is a string data type, it's like varchar value, and you are trying to convert it into a small int, so it won't be possible because string to number format. Okay, that won't be possible until and unless if your string is containing only numbers, then it could be possible. Okay, so this is also implicit type of conversion. Now let me show you. Insert TBL conversion test. Okay, select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Now I am trying to insert a value into the varchar column, like I am appending a string plus integer. Okay, how I would what is that? I am concatenating, like let us say this statement. Okay, now I want to concatenate data like string plus integer. Okay, it will throw an error because how it will be executing, this is a left to right, right? So this is an integer, it will try to convert this data also to integer, then it will fail. So how in these cases, right, how you would achieve it through, means like how can you achieve it? So let me cast it as or let me test less. I am appending the number. Okay. Now I am appending the number. So what it will do? So let me take the same scenario over here. If you see if you see here, 1 comma Govind has come, and if you see here, conversion has been failed because you are trying to convert this to integer and appending it to integer. But here what I am doing is like I am casting it as a varchar, means like whenever compiling happen for this particular statement, then what it will do, it will try to compile or it will try to convert this data type to integer, sorry, this integer data type to varchar column, then appending it to the varchar column. That's why it is happening here. So here what we are doing is like explicit conversion. The same thing what I am doing is here explicit conversion. So if you see convert, this is being inserted. So let us say the string concatenation operation operator in SQL is plus. Okay. So whenever you want to concatenate two strings, then you can use plus. Now if you see, same error has come, okay, again. So let us say why it has been failed. Because of this. Because of this. So you are trying to appending a integer value to the particular varchar column, okay, varchar column data, and you are trying to insert it into the particular table. So how it would be happening means like how you will convert or how you will cast it as. So this is like cast means like if you want to convert the particular data type into the some other compatible data type, then you can go with the cast. Okay, and the similar thing you can achieve it through convert also, but cast require the data type column or the data which is has to be converted it into the particular data type. So here is this is the value of the column and here this is the data type. So this data has to be converted as to this data type. So similar behavior if you want to see with convert, convert will require three, what was that, three parameters. Okay, first of all, to which data type you want to convert. Okay, varchar 10 comma, and if you want to convert this data type. Okay, here convert will allow you to like either two or three comments, sorry, three parameters. So if you see in this case, in this case if you see in this case both the statements are giving us the same result set. Okay, the convert and cast. But where we will be using convert means in the date time format, right? If you want to change the date time format, then you would be going with the convert data type. Okay, where care of, let me show you, like, so 10 comma get date comma 112. So if you want, convert the date time format to some other format. So if you, there are some formats, convert date time. Yep. Yeah. If you see here, this can be achieved it through only convert function. This can't be achieved through your, what that, your cast function. Okay. So if you see here, 106, what format it will give? DD1 YY, 108 hour minutes seconds. So if you want time only, then you can go with 108 format. Okay, let us say 108. So if you see hour, minutes and seconds, you got it right. So this can be achieved, means like this is an explicit conversion. You are trying to convert the date time format to a varchar format for the specific number format. When I say specific number format, whenever you give this return type as 108, then it will give you the result set into this type of format. So these things can be achieved through the convert only. So this can't be achieved through the cast. In simple cast, where you will use is, so if you want to convert any particular data type to the some other compatible data type, then you could go with the cast. Means like I am converting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the varchar, then it is possible through cast. But I am having a what is the date time format. Let us say, where is my TBL conversion test? Yes. So if you see here, I am having date time format over here. So I am trying to convert this date time to some other formats. Select star comma. This would give me, yes, time. So let's go to some date format. 112 or 102. 102 we can go 112 YYMMDD. Okay, this is also fine. So 102 will go 102. Yes, date format. Now what I am going to do is cast, not get date. This should be date. D is the column name, right? So D is the column name. Cast D as date as date. So if you see, D is the column, and from this column I have extracted the time alone from this column. So there is a convert function, I am using it. Okay, and from this column I am extracting the date, but that is supported as ANSI date format. I am using ANSI date format. This is standard. Means like if you are working for a British or French customer, then they would require the date format is like this, And if you are working for an Italian customer, then they would require the date format like this. If by default, means like most of the companies will be working for the US client, so they by default they will what that go with the 101 and 102. Okay, so if you see here, I am converting this date time format which is satisfied to your 102, I guess 102, yes 102. So which means this is your ANSI format. Okay, and if you see here, this is an implicit data type conversion. This is a datetime data type, and this is a data type. So these two are compatible data types. So SQL Server engine will allow you to convert the datetime to the date format. So that's why here implicit conversion is happening. So no, not implicit conversion. This is also explicit conversion. I am trying to extract the date alone from the date time of this D column. So these are the major differences between your cast and convert and the implicit and explicit conversion. There are compatible types. If you want to see, you can go through the MSDN site. So if you see this table, okay, if you see this table, so if you are trying to convert binary data type to var binary, then it will allow. So if you see the color coding, they will tell you. If you see this blue color, this should be explicit conversion, and if you see this type of thing, it is an implicit conversion. And wherever you see the cross mark, this is like you won't able to convert. Okay, and if you see this one, caster conversion, what is that? Caster convert would be required, and these are the data types. So you're trying to, this is like SQL Server 2016. Okay, there are some other data types has been added, but forget about those data types. So just if you want to look at char, var, char, and var, char, all these things, okay. Float, real, int, small int, int, money, timestamp, unique identifier till this one from here. Binary, var, binary also you can have a look up. So if you have time, just go through this link and go through all these implicit and explicit conversion of types. Okay, and these are the main what are the differences between your uh, cast and convert and implicit and explicit conversion, and whatever we discussed today, it's like your delete and truncate table statements, right? So are we good? If you guys have any doubts, then you can ask me. Oh, hey Vara, am I audible now? Hey, am I audible, Vara? Kavinath, are you there? Bindu, am I audible?